What's up, guys? This is Angel with Bama to the Rescue. It has been an exciting, yet scary, yet eventful 2023 for us. It moved fast. So today, this video, I'm going to do a recap of 2023. The good, the bad, the great. It's going to be different areas. And then we're going to talk a little bit about 2024. What's to come, what are we going to do, how we're going to do it, and the planning process, that we've already started. So you may get some clips from me, you may get some clips from Kelly, and then we're going to put it all together and give you 2023 in a nutshell, the good, the bad, the ugly. Excuse my cats, they decided they wanted to roughhouse right about now. So, but anyway, I guess we'll start off with just how we got to where we are. So we moved in April of 2023. We moved in. We were like, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to move in, get settled, get unpacked, and get started. It definitely changed. Everything about us changed in 2023. From the city living, fast moving, gotta have people, to the slow, steady, let's plan, let's grow our own food, and how are we going to get to where we want to be. So we moved in April of 2023. We built raised beds. We got them put together. We got the dirt in. We got them filled. We built eight 10 by 5 beds. They were huge. We went out and bought tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, squash, peppers, jalapeno peppers, Carolina Reapers, herbs, basil, thyme, cilantro, anything you could think of, we went out and bought. We bought the actual plants because we knew we were behind. We knew we couldn't get anything seeded and get it planted and have a good harvest, which we may have could have. We just didn't try. But anyway, so we went out, we bought all the plants. We got the beds filled, we bought the plants, we got our herbs planted. We planted herbs around the house. We planted herbs along the woods. We planted herbs in the beds to complement some of the beds. We bought marigolds, and we were successful. We didn't use any pesticides, just compost and things we've had on that. We got 5 acres. We bought 5 acres, things we had along the property. We filled the bottom of the beds with sticks, leaves, cardboard, and then we topped it off with topsoil, and then we topped that off with compost. And so we were ready. So we got everything planted. Well, the downside to that was we did not have as much knowledge as we thought we had. Example, like when the tomato plants are growing, we may have known, but we may not have known. We may not have thought about it to trim the leaves on the bottom to keep the leaves off the ground, because the tomato plant does not like its leaves to touch the ground. So we did not know that. So they're growing and growing and growing. Finally, a family member comes over. It's like, hey, you make sure you want to do this, this, and this. So we're like, okay. So we started doing that. Then we realized, okay, maybe we need more information. So then we sat down and we started going through YouTube, watching videos, peppers. Certain parts of the pepper plants you want to clip to have better peppers. Certain parts of the zucchini, you want to grow your squash straight up, your cucumber straight up, zucchini straight up to keep bugs and pests out. We finally was to the point to where we were just like, we're going to let it go and we're going to deal with it as it comes. Needless to say, the cucumber, zucchini, and squash got taken over by a bug. I don't know what that pest was, but it was aphids. It was thousands of them in the beds when we pulled them up. So we had to go get some DE, clean out the beds, and kill them. The tomato plants, they died. We had too many in the beds. They were too close together. We got a few tomatoes, but for the most part, caterpillars, hornworms just ate them up. They fell over, storms came, blew them over, just wasn't sturdy. It was just rough. Green peppers. Now, we ended up getting a bunch of green peppers. We got a ton of jalapeno peppers. We did get greens. We got a ton of greens, but when it got hot, the greens just wouldn't grow. They just died. The sun just burnt them up. So, lesson learned. That's a fall plant. Or spring plant, as I like to say. Same with our lettuce. We had beautiful lettuce. It was cool. Once it got hot, the lettuce just burnt up. So these are lessons that we're learning as we're growing this garden. Like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. We got this, we got that. And then they start to die and we're like, why? Well, needless to say, you got summer planting, you got fall and spring planting. Now we know. We didn't plan, but we did get something out of our garden, which was a plus. We got zucchini in the freezer. We got family members came over and got squash and ate. We cooked some squash. We got just a plethora of things, but we could have gotten more. So we wasted a lot because we had little knowledge. But that's okay. This year is going to be better. We ended up getting chickens. So we got 13 Rhode Island Red. I love Rhode Island Red because they're dual purpose birds. And then we started off with 8 Rhode Island Red. We bought them just from, I believe I bought them from a place here. It's a local place called Miller Feed and Seed. So I bought 8 of them. Well, I realized I needed a rooster. So I went online and ordered from a place. But really what I wanted to order was a geese, a rooster, and 2 chickens. Well, my order got messed up. I got no geese and ended up with a rooster and 4 or 5 more chickens. So now we got 13 Rhode Island Reds, 1 rooster, and then I ended up buying 2 just regular geese from Rural King. So I got 2 female. We didn't know if they were going to be female or male, but we think we got 2 female geese out there. They're fully grown. They're mean. They hiss, and they do not like you messing with their birds. Just saying. So yeah, so now we got 16 total birds that we keep in an electric fence, and we move them once a week. And for a while, we went every 2 weeks. But we're realizing we need to move them once a week, or we're going to free range them. I prefer to free range them just so they can go and forage and we have less feed. And that's something I learned from Justin Rhodes. If you let them free range, they're going to grow bigger. They're going to get what they need. And they'll go back to their nest at night and roost and go to sleep. You just lock them up. So that's something we're working through. So then later on, we got some eggs because I'm like, we got an incubator. So we incubated 36 eggs and we only got 10 chicks out of that. I think 3 of them are roosters and the rest of them are chicks. But lesson learned there, which it was something new to us. We watch videos, but one thing I learned about these videos, they don't break it down. They just tell you what to do and how to do it, but they don't break down the little mistakes for you not to make. And that's something I want to put out this year that we learn. So once the chicks start hatching, once you see them start to pip, you're supposed to put food in there, water in there, and not open it. We was completely unaware of that. We would open it when a new one pipped and put some water, help them out. And I believe because of that, we lost more chickens than we were supposed to. But that's okay. Lesson learned. Now I know. Now we know. Next year, actually here soon, we're getting ready to incubate some Rhode Island Reds because they're dual purpose and they're meat birds. And those are the birds that we want to dispatch to put in the freezer so that we can eat to have food. And then the 10 we got out there, we're still undecided whether we're gonna have to dispatch some of the roosters. We got too many roosters, that's for sure. But if we're gonna keep the chickens and a rooster, which we probably won't keep a rooster, I don't see why we would because we have exhibition. I have a show rooster out there. My Rhode Island Red ended up being a show rooster. He's beautiful, beautiful rooster. So I don't think we're gonna need any more roosters. But the chicks, we were undecided if we're going to keep or not. But anyway, so we're getting ready to start the incubation process with the chickens. And that's something I'm going to walk you through. It's 21 days. 21 days from the time you put them in there until they hatch. And every week you check them. But that's another video for another time that I'm not going to get into. So we got that. Then we ended up buying a goat. So now we have a goat. And she is on the verge of having... a baby goat. That's exciting. Super excited about that. So once we bought a goat, we lost one of the goats. We got them. They were kind of sick. 2 of them we were able to save, nurse back to health. They're healthy. They're thriving. They're sweet. They're lovable. They're just amazing. One didn't make it, which was super sad. But we got 2 more that's out there. And then we ended up getting a male goat. So now one of ours is pregnant. So we're hoping to have a baby. And that the process in that is that the females will stay on one of the family members and another family member has more females and we will keep the males for breeding purpose. And they're milk goats and meat goats. So that's exciting. So we got goats on the way. What I've been doing is building a fence to put them in. And we have an old barn that I'm going to repurpose one side and then the other side is going to have hay in it. And then we're going to build a goat shed out on the outside of it. And then hopefully what I would like to do is bring a water system down off of that barn from rainwater so that the chickens and goats and pigs and animals have fresh water every day without us having to use our water. Something else I want to look into, which may not be a 2024, maybe 2025. Who knows? Because there's so many projects this year going on. But we have a well that I want to be able to tap into to use that water. So I had someone come out and drill into it. They said there's an unlimited amount of water in there that we're probably not going to run out of water. It looks like it's tapped into a spring, which is amazing for us. It just had a lot of iron in it. That does not hurt animals, does not hurt vegetables. So something else I want to be able to tap into is the well that we have, so that's another source of water. So we got the rainwater, we got the well water, and then I want to build a natural swimming pond, and that may come 2025, 2026. In the meantime, we got a pool that works just great. I got to get the equipment to be able to dig out the natural pond, and then I got to get grotto rocks or rocks to be able to fill it, liner, pump, plumbing, things like that that are going to be needed in order to build a natural swimming pond. So again, that may be 2025, 2026, but it's going to come. We're going to have a natural swimming pond whenever it's time for us to have one. So those are a few things. What else exciting happened? We did not realize, I learned to make and can. We learned to make and can chicken broth. So something that I like to make a lot of is homemade chicken broth. Well, before when we made it, we'd lose a lot of it. I'd make it and we have to throw it out. So now we know how to can it. So that was exciting. So now we have chicken broth that we keep regularly because it's so easy to do now. That's another video that I would like to show you guys. But right now we're in the process of redoing the kitchen, the laundry room, so that we have storage so that we can put everything that can. And that was another downfall for us. We grew all this food, but the way we operate is that we had nowhere to put it. We had nowhere to store it at because 11/11, we just did not have enough storage to put it. So this year we're really focusing on getting enough storage to make sure that when it comes out the garden, we don't sit on it. It comes out, we go ahead and can it, preserve it, and put it away. And so that's in the works too, which I'm excited about that and excited about building shelves for that. So that's kind of where we're at. So we're going to try to make the most of this 5 acres. One thing about me, I see the beauty in chaos as to where my partner sees the beauty in beauty. I don't know if that makes sense. So she loves it. It has to be just right. So we're working on mixing that together because chaos and beauty create just abundance. And that's how I feel. So that's something we're working through doing. We're going to hopefully get a wood chipper. We got a lot of down trees that I'm going to have to cut up, and we're going to use the wood chippings and the chippings from it, and we're going to line in between the beds so that no weeds and stuff come up. We're going to use that for pathways. Not only is that good for pathways, it just breaks down back into the earth, which creates great soil. I want to work on a compost system for the chickens, something I saw from Justin Rhodes, where you just take all the compost and everything, you just pile it up and the chickens scratch and dig in it. I would absolutely love to do that. I just got to figure out where to put it at. So that's something, and I want to look more into that. But that's kind of where we're at. That's the end of 2023 for us, kind of what we did, where we're at, some goods, some bads. And next I'm going to take you out and I'm going to walk you around the farm and kind of show you the plans and where we want to go so that you can see in 2024 we're going to be rolling. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we are back. We are outside now. So some of the things that we wanted to get up this year was the greenhouse, the raised beds, and the pool. So I'm gonna show you the greenhouse. The greenhouse is absolutely beautiful. I love it. Here's the greenhouse. And we're working on cleaning everything up now. And as you see, we tried to put this shade cloth over the top. The greenhouse gets about 120 degrees. It's hot in the summer, so it almost burns everything. And then next to it, we put the compost, which we're not doing very good at composting. I need to take something and put that stuff down and put some leaves in there and wet it down real good. So I'm just scared of my chickens. But that's the compost. And then the raised beds. Here are the raised beds, which today we're out here working on cleaning them up. You see what we got cleaning them? We got the chickens cleaning them kind of in there. So there's 6 10x5 beds and then 2 5x5 beds. Now this bed we use for the peppers, and then she still got some peppers around it. This bed I grew greens in, collard greens. And then over there is we kind of grew a little bit of everything. So we were lucky because everybody says when you buy chickens, when you get them, you always lose some of the flock. Well, the original chickens we purchased, we did not lose one chicken in the flock. Not one. So we have all of them. And today is a very special day. We decided, after listening to Justin Rhodes, he talks about letting your chickens free range and how the ones he had that free ranged kind of got bigger and they weighed more. So we decided we were going to let ours free range. And our geese free range with them. I'm hoping the geese don't wander off. But just moving them was kind of getting tough for us because I work. So we decided, okay, let's go ahead and let's try this free range. So we leave them in till noon so that they lay all the eggs. And then we let them out after noon to free range. Hopefully this saves on feed, because right now a bag of feed is costing us $20 every week. And that's $20 for the big chickens because they're egg laying, and then another $15 for the little ones because they're little, the younger ones. So the younger ones have been free range in about 2 weeks. And so we're like, okay, let's let the big ones out, because the big ones sit inside this electric fence and kind of been watching them. So, and some of them have been flying out and wandering around. So now we got the big ones out with the geese. So let me show you the chickens. Here is the 10 that we just hatched. They kind of follow me everywhere when I'm outside. And there's our guard cats. And right now they're in the beds, which is where I want them at. I want them in the beds. I want them to clean out the beds. So I'm glad we got our marigold seeds out. And then I'm gonna take you up. This is the electric fence we got from Premier that we had the chicken in. We got to change the goose pond. We're trying to get this one out. What's interesting is this one is one that always flies out. She's always out, and now when she can get out, she don't want to get out. She's sort of a rebel. So we need to get her toward the door now. Now we're gonna try to get her out. Lock the door. I'm filming this kind of. Hold on, y'all. Let me get her. I don't want to stress her out, but she's stressing. Come on, Betty Sue. Her name's Betty Sue. Okay. Now she's in the. Go back. Hold on, we're gonna try to. We got her. She's been got. Let me see her. This is Betty Sue. Betty Sue is always out. So the day that she can get out, she don't want to get out. Every morning,
she was fixing to lay egg.
Every morning, Betty Sue gets out. Soon as Rex crows, she's out. So for her not to want to fly out today, it's very interesting. We found a nest where she had laid 27 eggs on outside of the egg lay. And let me show you Goose Goose. So I'm hoping Goose Goose don't wander. It's gonna be interesting trying to get them back in. So I'm hoping they go back and roost too. Let's see. And here is our original flock. I wanted Rhode Island Red, so that's what I got. And so this is their first time free ranging. So over there is kind of where and this tractor is the Justin Rose tractor that we built. Absolutely amazing, easy to roll. And when we put our chickens in the brooder box, I'm gonna show you kind of where when they get of age, we put them over here in this cage, just to keep them here for about a week, and then we let them out and let them free range. So this is kind of, these are some more of ours that we just hatched. So that's kind of that. But on to the next project. Oh, one super cool idea that we got that I absolutely loved was this chicken feeder. With these little holes in them. So one of our family members has a farm, and this is how. No, this is how kind of what she did. Oh. So it's basically a tote with little feeders on it, and so that's how we feed them. So again, here's our guard cat. Oh, the little chickens are trying to go through the fence. They don't realize there's a hole over here. Something got after my chicken down here. Let me go see. I'll be back.
I don't know how long they've been out, but we decided to take a risk, have some fun, let the chickens out. Our Rhode Island Reds have always stayed in this paddock with their tractor, and of course, it being winter, there's not much grass to move them around to, so we decided to let them out, let them adventure for a little bit, stretch their legs. Ideally, with our fingers crossed, come close to dusk, they'll all go back into their tractor to roost. Me and Duck Duck trying to be friends. They're not sure what to think. There's too much going on. What are you doing, Goose Goose? It's Goose and Goose. Goose Goose. What? What are you doing? What are you doing? You adventuring? You got grass right there. Eat the grass. Yeah, eat the grass. You like the grass. So I'm gonna hang out, kind of keep an eye on them. We got some cats, outdoor cats, that we gotta keep an eye on.
Alright, so now that we got everything under control, I'm back. And while I was away, we got the fence up. So we're putting up the fence for goats. So this is how we're going to keep the goats in. So here's the fence. It's simple field fence that I'm going to run barbed wire around. And then this barn, which I'm going to give you videos, I'm going to get ready and repurpose. That will turn into my chicken house. Which is, the chickens love it already. They're already in here. And then this is, I'm going to plant some seed out here for the chickens to feed on. So that's kind of where we're at. That's where we're at today. And then we're gonna build a goat shed out here and everything. And this all starts happening within the next 3 weeks. We're gonna get all of this ready for our chickens. But that's all we got for today. I will bring more videos to you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, we're Bama to the Rescue. We're gonna have a Facebook page up soon. We got a TikTok up. It's Bama to the Rescue. Go find it, follow, subscribe, and look for more content. Thank you guys. Whoo! And 2023 is coming to an end with a boom. All right, so today, as you've seen, we let the chickens free range and the geese, our main flock. So we have two different flocks. The main flock we've always kept an electric fence because that was our main flock, our Rhode Island Reds. Well, we let our Rhode Island Reds out, and then we let our 10, with the 10 that we hatched. The 10 that we hatched will go into the roosters will go into the freezer, and then we'll keep the hens. But, so yeah, we let them out. Goose is out protecting the yard. We got some cats that from the previous owner left, and she had babies, so we kept them. And the geese got after the kittens. That was the funniest thing I ever seen. But a good day so far. The fence is finished. So we were able to stretch the fence all the way down to the other fence. So now the only thing left to do is run the barbed wire around the rest of the damaged fence. So instead of taking up the posts that are already there and redoing it all, I'm just going to run barbed wire around it, that what's damaged. So we got that, and then I'm gonna run insulators around and make it an electric fence to keep any animals or things out, goats from escaping. So that's gonna be pretty cool. So that's where we're at now. So good day, good 2023. The chickens are cleaning out the beds, which is what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to clean out the beds, eat the weeds, eat the remaining winter or fall garden, the kale that's left, and whatever else is left. They're doing that perfectly. Love it. The geese are just following behind them and protecting them, as I would hope that they would do. So this, again, this is Angel, and that was Kelly earlier. This is Bama to the Rescue. Thank you guys for following. Make sure if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. The next video is going to be on me repurposing that barn. I'm excited about that. And then we're going to do a video also on how we are planning for the spring and the tools that we're using, which are absolutely phenomenal. So stay tuned for those videos. And then the repurpose of the barn, and then stretching the barbed wire around the fence. And then the arrival of our goats, the food we're going to feed, and things of that nature. The next phase in all of this, when I say food, is eventually I'm going to grow food here for all my animals. So like the chickens, I'm going to buy foraging seeds for the chickens that will grow grass and foraging things. That's next. Goats, I know they like trees. We have a ton of trees. Some of the trees are down. Some of them we're going to be taken down. Some of them we're going to be cut. So we're going to give that to the goats. I know they like hedges, bushes, things like that. Make sure they got their worms. Make sure their hooves are trim. All of those videos will be coming up and doing in 2024 for you guys. We thank you for hanging out with us. And if you like what you see, Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification so you know when we go live, or so you know when we do this again. And we will be doing some lives in 2024. We are from Alabama, in case anybody wants to know, and that's where we are. Thank you guys. Again, this is Bama to the Rescue. Have a good day.